Hey, everybody, welcome to Wellness Blueprints. I'm so glad you're here to nourish your roots with me. I'm Jess Milner. Welcome, welcome. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about mindset, really, is what it's all about. Thinking positive thoughts and all that jazz. You've heard a bajillion people talk about it. I mean, this isn't like a new concept, but I wanted to just lean into this a little bit because it's so important. And I mean, I could literally sit around and just talk about this all day. This is a big aspect of what I'm even learning about as I'm studying for my doctorate in natural medicine. So this is a huge component to any healing journey. If not the most important one, it arguably is more important than any physical aspects of your healing journey. So, let's talk a little bit about a placebo. Okay. Everybody's heard that word placebo. Somebody gets a placebo versus a drug in a testing trial. Some people would argue that certain things are just, it's a placebo effect, that's fine. And one of the things I always say about placebo effect, I'm like, well, who cares if it was the placebo effect? The fact of the matter is somebody's feeling better. So hooray, But really, placebo effect is proof that our bodies are magical and that we can do something when we put our mind to it, like heal. So, placebo effect is basically the belief that something is going to heal you. It's a positive belief that something's going to heal you. There have been, tons of different studies where people who were given a placebo still healed because they honestly believed that what they were being given was going to help them help their body do what it needed to do and heal them. We've, plenty of people have said, oh, they took the sugar pill and they're still feeling better. Awesome. So you were able to train your mind to remind your body of what to do. And at the same token, you have on the opposite side something called a nocebo. So this is, this self-sabotaging belief that you're not going to heal, that it's not going to work. And so you do have that even on the other side of, a scientific study like that, somebody could be getting the actual drug, but believe that it's not going to help them. Like, oh, it doesn't matter what somebody does for me, my body's still going to be ABC, blah, blah, blah. And then that becomes true. And they take this new drug, and other people are getting well from it. A couple people in the placebo group are even doing well. And, these people are still not doing as well. And a lot of that has to do with your belief. So it said that something around like 70% of the average person's thoughts are actually negative. And you have these, self-sabotaging negative beliefs and thoughts. And these are deep-seated beliefs. This isn't just like something that, you're consciously thinking of. It's something that, you decided to believe sometime in your childhood, and it's just still there. So it's not necessarily your fault, but when we continue to have just these negative thoughts and think these negative things, it always is going to lead to ill health and death. You're not going to get to a healing state when you are in these negative beliefs. Your mind is just really just way too powerful for that. If you probably heard the saying, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. Because if you think that you can't do something, you're not going to be able to do it. And so, believing that you are able to do something, especially in your healing journey, is going to be job one. So I am always going after this in all of my programs. One example of a placebo effect that I always thought was really interesting is someone, oh, I forget the name of the guy now. Of course, I'm going to draw a blank because I'm recording, but that's okay. He had somebody under hypnosis, and it doesn't matter how you feel about hypnosis or not. I mean, I can even, I can compare this to a dream that I had at a time as well. But um, under hypnosis, this guy, said, okay, now I am going to touch your skin with this burning cigarette. And, so of course, he wasn't really going to do that. He touched his skin with the tip of his finger. And what happened was the mind was so set on that, I'm about to get burnt by a cigarette, that a welt actually formed on the arm. And people are looking like, what did you do? What did you burn it with? No, I didn't. It was just my finger, but the mind is so powerful like that. So that's a pretty big example of that. And it made me think of this one time. I don't know, I was probably like 12 years old or something, but I had a dream. I was wherever, and I got bit by a snake of some, some kind of venomous snake with big fangs. And I woke up in the morning and I actually had two dots on my leg, like right there, as if I had been bitten by. I didn't have like nothing else hurt. It wasn't sore, nothing like that. Like there was nothing going on, like nothing blew up. There wasn't like a bite of another bug or something like that there. But my mind thought that I was getting bit there and put those dots there. So it really does play a role in what's going on. So I don't know if you're someone like me or someone like any other human being. You've probably been very guilty of this because I have too. We have a tendency to kind of talk negatively about ourselves. Something like oh, like when I was suffering from IBS all the time and like I could hardly eat anything without like having to run to the bathroom. I mean, it was a nightmare. I would say things like, "Oh, my stomach hates me. It's just so mad at me today, and I don't know what's going on with it, and I just hate it so much too." I know women, myself included, have said things like, "My uterus hates me this month, and I'm so crampy, and everything hurts," and just saying really negative things like that. And really, you don't want to talk that way about your body because your body is your friend. Your body is here to work with you. You're here to remind each and every cell in your body, which each and every cell in your body is its own living, breathing entity with its own frequency, and does know how to do the things it needs to do and all works together synergistically. Some of those cells have turned into organs, some of them are other types of tissues, some of them are blood. Like this is it all works together. And we need to remember that we can train our bodies and remind our bodies of how to do the things that it needs to do. When we're constantly negative and constantly in an area of complaining about things or comparing ourselves or thinking, oh, poor me sort of a situation, then it's going to result in more negative effects. So that is why any program that you're in with me, I'm going to do some body code. We're going to look into the different types of trauma and different emotional trauma and stuff like that, release some of that. And then that gives you even more opportunity to kind of dig further into that. As I'm studying more and more, I mentioned earlier that this aspect of healing is actually more important than just the physical aspect. And that's because, everybody has a vital body, this frequency body. We are all made of energy. Every single thing here is made of energy. That's just a scientific thing. And we all have our own vibrational frequencies. And, we can kind of like, you can feel the frequencies change depending on what's going on. You have different frequencies of hertz for different sound healing effects. There's, so all of these things are here. And that frequency, that vital body that is surrounding you, it's actually called a morphogenetic field. And that morphogenetic field actually holds all of the blueprints for your entire physical body. So if that is not worked on, if that is not healing, if you are completely ignoring that part of your body, that vital body, then your physical body cannot possibly be completely healed because the blueprints are not going to show that. So this is always a really big part of any programs that I am doing, and I'm always going to tell you, especially like in my weight loss program, you want to start to say things like, "Weight falls off of me easily. I lose weight with ease. I do not store this and that." You want to come up with these mantras, if you will, to tell yourself, even looking in the mirror or whatever, whatever. Everybody kind of starts off at one spot. I know it can be weird to like look in the mirror and say things to yourself, but leaving little notes up everywhere to get your mind into a more positive way. So really, it's just, you can just reframe it. If your stomach is bothering you a lot, you can reframe that to, okay, well, my stomach doesn't hate me. My stomach is trying to tell me something, and I am here to listen to my stomach so that I can figure out what it is that my stomach needs so that I can help it not feel this way. And then, sometimes we can figure that out via the blood work. Sometimes you can figure that out on your own, but you get it. That's just the kind of frequency that you want to be in. If you really kind of think about it, because I mentioned that every cell in your body is its own living, breathing entity, it's its own frequency. Then really you are, the God or the universe, the ruler over all of these cells. So go ahead and talk to them. Remind them how to work. Remind your glands how to work. Wake them up in the morning and thank them for being there for you for another day and thank them for working together. And just kind of like, a boss really needs to be like genuinely thankful for the team that they have that they're working for. Whenever I have somebody doing anything for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I appreciate you so much. And I do, I truly do. Because without those other people, things aren't going to be getting done. We can apply that to our bodies too. And we can be thankful for what we do have and thankful for the little steps, even if you take two steps forward and one step back. Because remember, healing is never ever linear. And that goes for physical healing as well as mind and spirit healing. That you're absolutely not going to just go up, 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 up and be awesome. It's going to be a bit of a roller coaster. That's just how it is because we are living, breathing creatures. And our frequencies are always going to change and things are going to fluctuate. So that's totally normal too. So go ahead and leave me a comment. Please hit that subscribe button. You can find me on Facebook at Deep Rooted Wellness. You may join my Deep Rooted Wellness Warriors Facebook group. I'm so glad that you came to hang out with me today. Have a beautiful day, everybody.